He's never shown a horse, but he's been a part of more world championships than even the most famous horses or exhibitors.
Please welcome multiple freestyle reigning champions, Stacy Westfall and Wizard's Baby Doll.
Justin Ochs has been one of the voices of the AQHA World Championship shows for the past 4 years.
Peter Cofrancesco, I had a friend that was doing an internship at his farm, and he was getting ready at that time just to start the Region 5. The regional shows were starting. So he asked me to come do that and tried to do my best job there, and then he kind of started plugging me at AQHA. So my first big AQHA show was a Youth World Cup, I think 4 years ago. And after the Youth World Cup, met Tom Persicino, and things just kind of unfolded to do the rest of the AQHA show.
It's a job he enjoys for a variety of reasons.
The fun part is always the people. I mean, it's amazing to me whether you go to New York or Florida, North Carolina, Fort Worth, Oklahoma City. Once you announce an NRHA show or an AQHA show, you're generally running with the same group of people the entire time, so you get to catch up with old friends. The funnest shows are going to be the AQHA World Show because there's a lot of extra production going on with them, and you're not just sitting there calling the classes and talking to the barns that you would do at a local regional show.
But it does have its hazards.
There was a horse at the NRHA Futurity. His name was Colonel Pepinator, and I was calling him back in the barns, and I hadn't reviewed my list and was just hitting names to let him know how far we were away from starting, and I told him that Colonel Penetrator was on his way into the arena. So, and you get some names sometime. There was one horse named Buckstitch Doc. I referred to him as Buckstitch Jock. So those are stories that follow you once people hear them throughout the industry. And then, hey, how's Colonel Penetrator doing? That kind of stuff. You're going to realize that or a large majority of the time, nobody's really listening to you until you say something wrong, and then they'll all show up at the office and complain about what you said. So
it was at his first show, the Carolina Classic, when he knew that he was on the right path for him.
I get accused of mumbling a lot when I talk normally, so I really try to project and add extra volume and sound when I get on the microphone. And that first day, that first show, I mean, my voice was just shot because I hadn't been used to doing that. But we made it through that 4-day show, and he handed me my check, and I've still got a handwritten note. It says, "You have a very bright future." So from there, I went on to do the AQHA Youth World, Select World, Youth World Cup, Novice and Amateur World Show, Quarter Horse Congress, and now getting to do the Barrett Jackson. So it was definitely God's plan for me, and it's something that you never thought you'd be doing. So.
Justin and his wife Kelly are starting family and planning on building a ranch in Tennessee. His success in the equine industry has taken him to new heights as an announcer and an auctioneer.
I was fortunate enough to win the Tennessee State competition this year, and we compete this year at the international competition in Greensboro, North Carolina with the National Auctioneers Association Convention. And it's a field of anywhere from 75 to 90 auctioneers from all over the United States, Africa. They come from all over. But that presenting yourself in front of that crowd, not only for the competition, but a lot of job opportunities can arrive from that, from just people within the business. So that would be the next step, would to be pursue the upper end of the auctioneering and try to make a name for myself there.
Being a professional announcer isn't just all talk, however. Like any at the top of their field, for Justin, practice makes perfect.
I practice or try to every day. It's kind of like working out. If you quit doing it, it's hard to go back. Your tongue and your mouth aren't loosened up. And I'll notice that when I go announce a horse show. If I announce all week and don't spend any time practicing, then my speed and my clarity when I go back to selling is not what it was before I went to the show. But we'll generally practice every day. Sometimes twice a day. My wife loves me because I have a sound system set up in the house that I can practice on and that she gets to listen to. Announcers sometimes kind of like to think they're the voice of the event, but we're there for the exhibitor. Our job is to bring attention to the exhibitor in their moment of glory, My point behind that is to heighten the level of emotions that are wrapped around that World Championship for the exhibitor and the people watching, because that's really their day to shine, and we want to make it as memorable for them as we can.
And as far as winning a World Championship, instead of just talking about one,
I've still never shown a horse, but would look forward to doing that someday.